Does your need for control in life stand in the way of humbly asking for help when you need it?
Well, in this episode, we're going to show you why giving up control is the first step you need to take to humble yourself up and get the help you need. Well, it's July 20th, and it's time for another double shot from My Sober Truth. I love this one, all about the shortcomings being removed. It's kind of like the culmination point of step 7, but we're still dealing with what we were dealing with in the last episode, a smacking of that false pride, because there's this thing that tends to happen. I don't know about you, maybe I've done it too. I know I've done it. You want help, but then you have this preconceived notion of the help you need.
Yep.
And so you're kind of asking almost with strings attached. I don't want help, but I want X, Y, Z. And I would say, at least in my own journey, I kind of had to come to the end of that. I had to get the help I didn't think I was going to need to get the results I wanted. It's just kind of asking without strings attached, asking without those preconceived notions. It's giving up control even in the ask.
Right.
And again, I love the point in the reading because, again, it's not that we're asking God for help to remove my defects. It's just saying, I trust you to do it in the way that you want to do it in that situation. So let me ask you this. How did you giving up control help you learn how to humbly ask and help grow you and advance your recovery?
I'm still not good at it.
I don't know if any of us are.
I try.
Right.
An example while you were talking just came to my head, and you and I didn't discuss this beforehand, but I'm just going to go ahead and go with it because it feels right. A very recent issue of this happened in my life. I was doing some work around my house. My pool needed to have the pool liner changed.
I'm aware of this.
Yes, you are. My good friend here came and helped me out changing out this pool liner. And it was, let's just say it wasn't nearly as easy as the videos on YouTube made it seem.
Exactly.
Several fall downs later, bruised hip later. It was rough, and it took us several tries over the course of a couple of weeks to try and finally get this thing done.
Right.
It brings me back to the point of, this didn't really happen this time with Mark, but I'll give you an example in just a second of asking for help from somebody on, say, a project around your house, and that person gets there and they start helping, but they're not really helping in the way you wanted them to help.
Right.
They're doing something a little different. They're not doing it the way you wanted to do it. And it gets a little weird on you real quick because you asked this person for help, but now here they are doing things different than you were going to do them, the way you had it in your head. And a fine example of that is, I had to wind up swallowing my pride on this. You and I were in that pool on the first day taking that liner out. Actually, not the first day. I believe it was the first day we went to put the new liner in.
Right.
And Leanne, my wife, comes out, and she's kind of standing up top. So she has a different perspective of what's going on. We're down inside the thing. And she's kind of giving us some pointers, and I did not like that very much. Her and I had a conversation about it later that night, and I didn't like having that conversation then. This is just me being open and honest. But the truth is, after her and I had that conversation and I thought on it, she was right. She was out there trying to help us. She wasn't trying to do any harm.
Right.
She was just commenting on what she could see from a different perspective than what we could see.
Exactly.
And in the heat of it, I was aggravated and I didn't want to hear that. So that was some help that came that I didn't humbly ask for, and I did not humbly receive.
Right.
But I made my mind up, like, I don't remember if it was right then when we talked, it probably wasn't. It took me a while to come to this, that I thought to myself, I don't want to do that anymore.
Right.
I didn't like doing it to my wife, and I didn't want to do it again. And so all that being said, when I ask my higher power to remove these shortcomings, in this reading, it describes it very well. I don't ask him to help me get rid of my shortcomings. That's not what's going on here. I'm asking him to get rid of my shortcomings.
Right.
I don't need help getting rid of them. If I could have got rid of them, I'd have got rid of them a long time ago.
Exactly.
So he don't need my help to get rid of them. What he needs is to know that I'm humbly coming to him asking for help. And it's, that once again, humbly coming to it, humbly asking. I can't stress enough, those are action words.
Right.
I think about those things when I'm doing them. I'm going to humbly ask, let me get down on my knees. Yes, those are all actions as well, but the action that I'm talking about is that switch in your head that you kind of flip. And this, just like most of these topics that we cover, they're all kind of intertwined. And that switch I'm talking about that flips in my head, that gets me to this point where I'm ready to humbly ask, it doesn't flip and stay on forever.
Right.
I have to do it every day. Sometimes I have to do it every hour, every minute.
Right.
But it's those decisions that I make, the decision that I want to be a good man, I want to be clean, I want to be sober, I want to be the kind of person who leads the kind of life that I lead most of the time. Every once in a while, does my head get a little twisted? Actually, a lot my head gets twisted. But I'm really lucky that I have this program, that I have these sets of not rules, but guides to go by. And I have these people in my life that can help guide me. And now I have a relationship with a higher power that does help guide me. So all of that, when you take all of that into consideration, I ask, and every time I ask, I want to humbly ask.
Right.
Because if I'm at a point where I need to ask for help, I don't ask for help lightly. I need to be humble about it, and I need to not worry about where the answers come from.
Exactly.
I just need to be ready to accept them.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I was going to say I like what you said. You humbly come to the point that you need help, humbly ask.
Right.
And I would say the third part of that trilogy would be humbly receive.
Humbly receive, absolutely. And sometimes that's the hardest part.
Exactly.
You kind of like I was talking about, you expect the help to come in this certain form, like we talked about on a prior episode. The pickup truck, the rowboat, and the helicopter all came for you, but you said no to all of them because that wasn't the help you were expecting.
Exactly.
So your expectations led you to drown instead of being saved.
Exactly.
So it's all of these things are so intertwined, and the answers to all of them are very similar. Right. It's getting humble, it's taking action, it's receiving the help that you need. Right. And for almost every lesson that we go through, the answers are the same. Right. We apply them a little differently to the different lessons, but the true answers are the same. The real answer is, let's find you a higher power, and let's teach you, let's let you learn how to rely upon your higher power.
Absolutely.
Because that's where it's all at.
Absolutely. We could talk about this for days. We're probably going to talk about it again, especially when it comes to topics of willingness, giving, receiving, and other stuff.
Absolutely.
But as we wrap up, I'm going to pose a question to our viewers today. And so, folks, tell me this. How did, in the past, your need for control, or maybe the present, how does your need for control in life stand in the way of being able to humbly ask for help when you needed it? Pride's a real interesting thing, and so it's time to fess up. So if that's you, talk about your experiences down in the comments section below, and you know what? Your answer is going to help somebody else on their journey today. And on that note, from My Sober Truth, I'm Mark.
Hey, and I'm Sean, and here's hoping that today you stay drunk with success. Love y'all. Hi, folks. Thanks for watching. If you're ready for another round of My Sober Truth, then belly on up to mysobertruth.com and click on the double shot button today. There you'll find the daily inspiration, encouragement, and support that'll help you stay clean, on track, and growing in every area of your life. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, and if you got a minute, stick around, watch another video. Love y'all.